So, did you revise the chapter? Were you able to revise that?
No sir, honestly
Okay,
no.
okay, okay, okay.
I'm trying कि whatever you are trying, मतलब आप जो सिखाओगे क्लास में मैं उसको कोप अप करूँ और फिर जब भी टाइम हो तो मैं कर पाऊँ.
Okay, so one thing that I will do that I will share you all the notes of the class
Yes,
that I
please
give.
sir,
Okay,
that will be very helpful.
although I make all those notes from the book and I also take help from other material, but I will try to share those things to you. Like in any case, they will be helpful.
Yes sir, that will be very helpful. Actually last 15 days I'm not able to do anything study, just trying to cope up with the classes.
Okay, okay. Hi, Binoy.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening. How are you, Binoy?
Fine, sir.
Okay. So, like, we will start today this new unit. No, viajes y transporte. See, so let me share with you first the book.
So you're not audible.
Ah, no, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So we will start today with this chapter, okay, which is viajes y transporte. And as you can see in the objective objetivos, that we will be learning today about how to give directions in the street. Okay, we'll in the last class we have already learned about directions, no, norte, sur, este, oeste, right? So now we will try to use all the vocabulary that we learned in the last class to give directions. Okay, talk about distance and directions in a particular city, and many things. We will learn many expressions also related to when we travel. We need certain kinds of expression. We need certain kinds of vocabulary. We need to know names of means of transportations. Okay, so we are going to learn all these things, and for this, as you can see here, we will be needing uh, we will have to use the verb imperativo in imperativo. Okay, so imperative, we will learn also the imperative form of the verb. So I would like to start your class from uh, imperative verbs. Okay, so here, as you can see, let's first look at the conjugations of the verb. Okay, hello.
Yes, sir.
So let's first look at the conjugation of the verb. Khirar. Okay, so the first verb is khirar. Can anybody say what do we mean by khirar? What is the meaning of the verb khirar? Khirar is to turn. Okay, to turn. And now you will see that here conjugations are given in imperative. Okay, you all can see my screen,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So khirar. So uh, khirar is a regular verb. It is not irregular verb. So when we are talking about regular verbs, so can somebody give me conjugation of the verb khirar? You just have to conjugate it in a regular manner. It's not exception. Okay. So how do we conjugate verbs that end with ar? All the verbs that end with ar. How do we conjugate it?
Uh, wait.
Uh,
Oh,
Sir,
sorry, sorry.
O as uh, O us, a,
Yeah,
hours, eyes, on.
are. Okay. So this will be the conjugation of the verb. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So hero, hiras, hira, hiramos, hirais, hiran. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
as you all can see here on the screen, that we have started here with two forms. We have not used
Hmm.
new form of the verb
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
you will not be giving command to yourself. Okay. Can you mute please because lots of noise is coming. Ah, okay, thank you. So as you will see here on the screen that we have started here with two forms. है ना? We have not mentioned here yo hero. It's not there, right? So it is not there because we cannot give command to ourselves. I will not say that Amrit do this. Okay. Instead of that, I will ask you to do those things. Okay. I won't be giving command to myself. Therefore, we start with two form of the verb. So when we are trying to conjugate verbs in imperative, in imperativo, this yo form, hero. Can you all see? I have highlighted hero.
Yes, sir.
So we will not need this, right? So I've deleted it. Okay, and so we are left with more five forms of the verb, conjugated forms of the verb. Now, next, see here. Uh, although in nosotros form is not here, but there are circumstances when we use nosotros form in while giving command. But because you are at the beginning stage of your of learning Spanish, so you won't it's not advisable for you to learn all those things. Okay, you will be learning those things in the next section. So here we will only use two form of the verb, usted, ustedes, vosotros, and ustedes. Okay. So to when if we are learning to conjugate verb in two form, in imperative, what we have to do? We just have to delete s from here. Okay. The normal conjugation, from normal conjugation we will delete s. Okay. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we
Yes,
will
sir.
just from
Yes.
the normal conjugation, we will just delete s, hira. So we will get conjugation of imperative verbs in two forms. For vosotros form, what we will do? This is vosotros form, right?
Yes.
So for vosotros form, what we will do? Just see here. What's it here? What we are adding? We we
D.
are deleting AR. Okay, we are deleting AR from the infinitive form of the verb, and we are instead adding AD.
AD.
Okay, so same
Yes.
we will do here. Okay, so in for this we will delete eyes, and what we will use instead? A T. So we also don't know. We also don't need nosotros form. Okay. Now, for usted, what we will do? Generally, we translate if we conjugate verb. Okay. This is usted form of the verb. Okay. Let me write this first. Otherwise, you all will get confused. This is two form of the verb. Okay. Now we have also We have just seen how to conjugate verbs in vosotros form. Now, usted. So, how do we conjugate verb in usted form? In imperative. Ke liya usted. Okay. So, how do we do that?
We will
We
remove.
just remove a and instead we use e. Okay, because you will learn these things in like when you will learn more about grammar, that basically this is subjunctive form of the verb that we use in usted. Okay, and for ustedes, instead of an we will use en. Okay, instead of an we will use en. So tell me any verb which ends with ar ending. For example, trabajar. Okay, trabajar. Trabajar. Trabajar is to what is
To
the meaning
work.
of trabajar? To work. Okay. So now we have to conjugate this verb in imperative. So the first form, which is to form, right? In to form. How we will conjugate this verb in to form?
Trabaja.
Prabhakha.
Very good. Trabajar. Because what we are doing, we are just deleting r, okay, and we are getting the to form of the verb, right? Now let's come to usted. Usted, what we are doing, earlier usted, okay, so what we are doing
Trabaja.
here, the ba har, but what we are deleting here, we are deleting o.
R.
Instead of trabaja we are converting it into e, so a will convert into e. Okay, and for vosotros form, what we will do? Trabajar. So
Trabajar.
trabajar. Okay. And for this, what we will do? For the ustedes form,
Prabhakin.
trabajen.
Kane.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you all got this? Okay. So in this is the way we will be conjugating verbs that will end with ar. Okay, all the verbs that will end with ar. Now let's come to the verb that ends with er. Okay, as you can see here in your book, the second verb is responder. Okay, for responder, what again we will do? How we will conjugate responder? Normally, like the normal conjugation of responder in present tense. Okay, respondo, respondes, responde, respondemos, respondéis, responden. Okay, this is the normal conjugation. So first of all, uh, we don't need yo form for imperative, and for time being, we are not learning the conjugation in nosotros form. Okay, although conjugation in nosotros forms also exist. Okay, but for time being, we are not learning it. So is true form, right? So for what we will do again here, we will delete s. Just
S.
just that like same
Responder.
we did for Khirar. Okay. And for Usted, what we will do?
S.
Responda.
Huh?
Responda. E. We will add E instead of
Exactly,
E.
because this time verb is ending with er. Okay, earlier verb was ending with ar. So what we were doing, all the verbs that ends with ar, we were adding e instead of a. Here we will do just the opposite. We will
A.
add a instead of e. And
Responder.
for vosotros, what we will do?
We will add ed. Responde.
Responder.
What we will do? Wha-
We will add a responde.
what we were adding here? See here. What we were adding here? Khirad. AD. Now we will be adding ED instead of AD. Okay. Okay. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Earlier, when the verb was ending with AR, so we were adding in vosotros form AD. We were deleting i's and we were adding AD. Now we will be adding ED instead of AD because the verb is ending with ER. Okay, so these are the conjugations that you will have to revise and memorize also. Okay, you will have to memorize them. First, you like know the basic rule how how they are being conjugated, and then you will have to remember them. So it will become respond. How we will write respond this.
Responde.
Okay,
Okay.
and for the usted form again. Sorry, for the ustedes form again. So
Okay.
instead of because it is ending with en, so we will just alter this and we will make it an. Earlier,
And
earlier it was ending with an in Khirar, so we converted it into en. Now we will, because the verb is ending with er, so what we will do, we will convert it into an. Okay, and the same thing we will do with escribir, the verb that is ending with ir. So the rest, as you will see here on the screen, that responder and escribir, they are same. Like here, the verb is ending with ir, therefore we will use id instead. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here verb was ending with ar, so we added ad.
AD.
Here the verb was ending with er, so in vosotros form we added ed. Now the verb is ending with ir, so in vosotros form we will add id.
ID.
Okay. The the two form will be same. Escribir,
there
escribo,
are
escribes, escribo, escribes, escribi, escribe, escribimos, escribis, escriben. Okay. So here we will just delete s. Escribe. For two form, what we will do, we will just delete s. Escribe. Okay. Escribe. Escribes. Escriba. Then because the verb is changing, verb is ending here with ir, so we will add a to it. Okay. Same as responder. Okay. Escriba. And then escriban. Okay. So were you able to understand this? Like you will have to practice this at home, but the basic rules of conjugating verbs in imperative, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So again, here, so these were verbs which were regular verbs. So here, as you can see, also there are some verbs with irregular forms in imperativo. Here are some of the most frequently used irregular verbs in imperative form. So here, like see, ir. Here it is becoming way. Venir is becoming when. Poner is becoming pon. Tener is becoming ten. Desir di. Aser as. Salir sal. So these are irregular forms of the verb. So this you will have to remember. Okay. You will have, because they are irregular, so they are not following the pattern which we saw here in khirar, responder, and escribir. Okay, so these verbs you will have to remember them. Okay, all the conjugations of these verbs, irregular verbs. Are you getting it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let us try to once recordar. Recordar. So recordar. So how we will conjugate? Recordar is to remember. So when you conjugate recordar, it is recuerdo. Okay. So here it will in two form. What it will become? Recuerda. Okay. Because two form is recuerdas. Are you able to understand this? Recordar. Let me write this. Recordar. Okay. So the conjugation of the verb recordar will be in generally recuer, recuerdo, recuerdas, recuerdo. Okay, it is not coming here. Recuerdas, recuerda, recordamos, recordar, recuerdan. Okay, so we know that we will not be using yo form of the verb and the nosotros form of the verb. Okay, so tell me how we will conjugate this in infinitive, in imperative. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So we are now going to conjugate recordar. This is the present in present tense. We have already conjugated it. We have deleted yo form of the verb and nosotros form of the verb because we don't need it as for now. So now we have to convert this into imperative. Okay. So we will be converting this into imperative conjugation. So how do we do that?
Record the.
ठीक है और
Just record the Q form.
Recuerda, because we will delete s from here.
Yes, sir.
Recuerda. Okay, so you will have to first remember the conjugation of all the verbs in present tense. Okay, only then you will be able to do this. So we will just delete s. Okay, for usted, what we will do?
Record the.
Recuerde, very good. And for vosotros, what we will do?
Record that.
Recordan.
Recordar, because this verb is ending with ar, so we will here conjugate, we will add ad instead of ed or id. Okay, and here recuerdan, so what it will
Record
become?
then.
Recuerden. Okay, so here here in the first section you can use, if you are using just two form of the verb, so here you can use recuerda, que en todas las grandes ciudades es necesario tener algunas precauciones. Okay, so try to conjugate, because all try to conjugate all these verbs: tener, utilizar, guardar, comprar, estudiar. hablar, tomar, recordar, and disfrutar, visitar. So try to conjugate them in two forms, just in two forms. Okay, and you can take help from here. And if you like, there are you can write conjugations of verbs of irregular verbs from this table. Okay, so just try to do this, do this exercise. You have to conjugate all the given verbs in two forms, just in two forms. You don't have to write usted, vosotros, and ustedes form. Okay. Are you all doing this?
Yes, sir. Trying.
Huh. So, for example, for tener, what it will become? For tener, here,
For
it is
10
already given.
to 10.
10. Okay.
Yes.
For tener, it will be 10.
And
And then,
vosotros for this tener.
huh. But I'm not talking about vosotros form. You have to conjugate all the verbs here in
Oh,
just two forms.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay, so utilizar, utilizar will, utilizar
Utilizo.
will become
Utilizo.
Utiliza.
utiliza, sa, not
Utiliza.
za, not za, it's sa. Okay,
Utilizo.
huh. Utiliza and uh, guardar will become
To
guard, guarda,
guarda.
Guarde.
guarda, right?
Yes, sir.
Guarde.
No,
Guarda.
guarda. Just you will have to delete r na from the infinitive form of the verb. You will just have to delete r to get two forms. Guarde will be ustedes form of the verb, which we are not required now of now.
Sir, comprar will be compra.
Compra,
Compra. Yeah.
very good.
And
Estudiar will
will be
become
estudiar.
estudia.
Preguntar will be pregunta.
Pregunta.
Pregunta,
H
pregunta.
will be habla.
Habla.
Habla, habla.
Tomar. I will be tomar will be tomar.
Toma.
Recordar will be recorda.
Recuerda.
Recuerda, because it
Yes.
is a stem changing verb.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, sir.
stem changing verb. So recuerda,
Recuerda. And visitar will be visita.
visita,
And disfrutar will be disfruta.
disfruta,
Disfruta.
disfruta. Very good. So, like more or less, you are now learning how to conjugate verbs in imperative. Okay, you will have to practice all these verbs. No, no. So, more you practice, more command you will get over the conjugation of these verbs. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, now we will see how we will be using these verbs. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Ah,
sir.
yeah. Tell
Excuse
me.
me, sir. So the instructions to in Spanish to do something and to not to do something, they both are different for these verbs, right?
Yeah. Exactly. They are different, but as for now, we are only using instruction to do something. We are not.
To do something, yes, sir.
We
Like
are not. We
yes, sir.
are
Like
not
when,
learning.
yes, yes, when is to come, and when not to come is no vengas.
So it is completely different. Okay. So
Yes,
we are
yes.
not learning conjugation to give
Ha.
negative
Sure.
commands. So we are
Okay,
only
okay,
learning affirmative commands. Okay. First,
okay.
we will have to learn about affirmative commands. because conjugation for negative commands are more difficult. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir. Yes, sir. More confusing.
more confusing because for
Yes.
that you will have to first learn about subjunctive, because once you
Okay.
know how to conjugate verbs in subjunctive, then you will be able to easily learn conjugation in negative for negative
91.
commands.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
So here now in this page, as you all can see, so the first photo, okay, photo number one is of what? You have to relate it. The first photo is
Metro.
metro. Very good. The second photo,
Car. Coche.
coche. The third one,
Taxi.
Taxi.
very good. Huh, very good. Fourth one,
Am. Ambulancia.
Angolesia.
ambulancia. Right. Here, fifth one, barco.
Barco.
Barco. Okay.
Barco.
Sixth, here the sixth one,
Bicicleta.
Bicicleta.
try to bicicleta.
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 Bicicleta. Bicicleta.
Bicicleta.
See, and again, the seventh,
Avion.
no, no, no. Avion, no. Bus,
Sorry.
Autobus.
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 autobus,
Autobus.
autobus, bus,
Autobus.
bus, autobus. You can use both of them. For eight, it is
Motocicleta.
Moto. Moto.
motocicleta or just moto. Okay,
Moto.
so
Avión.
Avion.
Avion.
Next.
Avion. Avion.
last
Avion.
one is avion. Okay, so in the last class you were asking me about one thing now. Someone asked me about if a word is ending with o, then it is generally it is masculine, and if the word ends with a, it is generally feminine. Okay.
Feminine.
uh,
Yes.
but here you will find one exception. For example, moto. So moto is feminine, so it is
Hmm.
una moto. So this is exception. Okay, it will be always la moto, not el moto. Okay, so this is an exception. Although the word is ending with o, but it is feminine and it is not masculine. Okay, uh, now here. So these are few verbs, okay, that you you will need when you want to visit a city or you want to visit a Spain. So uh, uh, for staying there, for moving within Spain, if you want to see Barcelona, for example, then you will have to hire taxi, or you will use public transport like metro or some other thing. So for that you will need certain expressions or certain verbs. Okay, so this is the list. Key verbs, you can see here now, key verbs. So this is a list of the verbs here, and
Uh-huh.
let us look at them one by one. So can anyone read it from here? I verbos.
Hay verbos
Mhm.
es, es- especialmente importantes a la hora de dar direcciones para moverse en la ciudad.
Okay,
Estos
okay, okay,
son
okay.
algunos.
So just stop here. Hay verbos especialmente importantes a la hora de dar direcciones para moverse en la ciudad. So there are certain verbs which are very important. Na? So while you are moving in the
Okay.
city, while you are roaming in the city, so you will use these verbs, you will need these verbs to give directions. Okay. Estos son algunos
Okay.
de ellos con su correspondiente definición en español. Intenta comprender su significado sin utilizar el diccionario español-inglés. So, here we have the list of the verb, and we don't have to use dictionary. We will just read them in Spanish, and we will try to figure the meaning out. Okay, what is the meaning of the verb? For example, tomar. Tomar is usar un transporte público. So when do we use verb tomar? When we use public transport. Okay, or you can see here is to take, to take. So to take bus, to take taxi, to take train. Okay, so you will use verb tomar for that. And here this is very important. Okay, so in Spain, when you are in Spain, so instead of verb tomar you can also use verb coger. But if you will use same verb coger in Latin America, then like people will get offended. Okay, so you cannot use verb coger as a replacement of tomar in Latin America. Okay, but you can use coger and tomar interchangeably in Spain. Okay, so por ejemplo, tomar un taxi, it is, or coger un taxi, it will perfectly work fine in Spain. Okay, but in Latin America, you cannot use verb coger. Okay, in place of verb tomar. And from this very example, we come to know about that, about the cultural difference of different countries. Okay, so as you can see that in Spain, verb tomar is accepted. You can use it, but in Latin America, people will get offended. Okay, and this is all because of the cultural difference. So you must be very careful while using certain words, in certain countries. Although those words may sound very comfortable to you because of your cultural uh, all your cultural notions, but in another context, in another cultural setting, it may offend people. Okay, so are you able to understand this? Very.
Yes, sir.
And here, subir. Subir is to entrar in un vehículo. So subir a. So with subir,
Okay.
you will always use preposition a. Okay. So subir is used when you are trying to enter in a vehicle, be it bus or train or un barco. So you will use subir. Okay, the to get in, to get on. Okay, in the same way, bahar de to use when you are getting out of the vehicle. Okay, bahar de, again with
Okay.
bahar always you will use preposition de. Okay, whenever you will use the verb bahar, you will also use preposition de along with bahar. Now cruzar is to cross. So you, while you are traveling, like you are traveling in a taxi, so you will cross from many places, right? So for that you will use the verb cruzar for that action of crossing. Seguir por derecho. Seguir derecho por. Seguir will be always used with por. Okay, por. Okay. In the same way, doblar will be used with a. Girar will be always. We have learned about the conjugations of girar right now, right?
Yes.
So girar and doblar, whenever you use those verbs, you will also use a along with them. Parar again is to stop, and pasar is to go along. Okay, so these are the basic verbs, and here in this paragraph you will learn about the uses, how to use these verbs. So, huh, so can anyone read this one? Like each one of you read just one sentence, okay? And then we will try to understand all those verbs and their uses here through this paragraph. Okay.
Till Uruguay, we need to like read
हाँ हाँ
first.
Miss Vacaciones in Uruguay.
Okay.
Uruguay.
Okay.
Uruguay.
Uruguay.
Hmm.
Okay. Mientras estaba en Buenos Aires, decidí hacer un viaje de algunos días por Uruguay. So please pardon. What
Uruguay.
about the word you have said? Uruguay.
हाँ. So
Es un país
just,
pequeño.
just one sentence. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So mientras estaba en Buenos Aires, while I was in Buenos Aires, okay, Buenos Aires is in Argentina. Okay. So
Okay.
while I was in Argentina, mientras estaba en Buenos Aires, decidí hacer un viaje de algunos días por Uruguay. I decided to do a trip of some day in Uruguay. Okay. Uh, uh, can someone else read this another line? The next line.
Yes, sir. Es un pez pequeño que está muy cerca de Argentina.
Es un país pequeño, es un país pequeño que está muy cerca de Argentina. So Uruguay is a small country which is very close to Argentina. Okay, Argentina. So again you will see here cerca de. In the last class I told you na that whenever we use cerca we will be using it along with preposition de. Okay. Cerca de. Okay. Next one.
Okay, I'll read next.
Ah,
Uh, para llegar a Montevideo hay varias opciones.
Para llegar
opci-
a, para llegar a Montevideo, la capital de Uruguay, hay varias opciones. So to reach Montevideo, Montevideo is capital of Uruguay. Okay, so uh, to reach Montevideo, there are various options. Hay varias opciones. Okay, la primera opción es tomar un autobús. So here we can see the use of the verb tomar. Okay, to take a bus. Okay, tomar un autobús. We have just read about the verb tomar here, right? Here we read about the verb tomar. Okay, it's to take. All of you can see here now.
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Huh. So here we read about the verb tomar. So now we came to know about its use. Okay, tomar un autobús or tomar un coche or tomar un barco. Okay, so la primera opción es tomar un autobús. The first option is to take a bus. Desde Buenos Aires. So from Buenos Aires you can take bus. This is the first option. Okay. Now another sentence.
El autobús es muy barato, pero tarda 8 horas en llegar hasta Montevideo.
Yes. El autobús es muy barato, pero tarda 8 horas en llegar hasta Montevideo. The bus is barato. Barato is cheap. It's less expensive. Okay, it's cheap. So bus is cheap there. So you don't have to pay a lot while you are traveling with bus. in Montevideo. Okay. Uh, y otra opción es tomar un barco. So again, you can see here, tomar un autobús and tomar un barco. Okay. So when we are you all getting to know the use of the word tomar?
Yes, sir.
Tomar un autobús, tomar un barco. So otra opción es tomar un barco directo desde Buenos Aires hasta Montevideo, cruzando el Río de la Plata, cruzando el Río de la Plata que separa las dos ciudades. So the other option is to take a ship directly from Buenos Aires till Montevideo. Okay, cruzando, crossing, cruzando. We have learned about the verb cruzar also, to cross. Okay, so here, cruzando. So you can easily, from here, you can see now this is Buenos Aires in the map.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
this is Buenos Aires and this is Montevideo.
Montevideo.
So you can go directly from, you can tomar un barco. Okay, you can take a ship and you can go directly from Buenos Aires to Montevideo, cruzando el Río de la Plata, crossing Rio de la Plata. Rio de la Plata is here. Are you seeing it? Rio de la Plata.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, it is now.
So so you you can, the another option is that you can tomar un barco desde Buenos Aires hasta Montevideo. Okay. Este barco tarda solo 2 horas, pero es muy caro. This barco is, what is meaning of barco? Barco,
Boat?
boat. See, this is barco, right?
Yes, sir.
So fifth number, diagram number 5. This is barco. So here it is written that este barco tarda solo 2 horas, pero es muy caro. So this boat will only take 2 hours to reach Montevideo from Buenos Aires. But it is very expensive. Es muy caro. Caro is expensive. Okay. So we
Caro
have
is expensive, sir.
muy caro. It's very expensive. So la última opción es tomar un barco hasta Colonia de Sacramento, otra ciudad en la costa de Uruguay, y desde ahí un autobús a Montevideo. So the last option is to take a boat from Buenos Aires to Colonia de Sacramento. This is also another city of Uruguay. Okay. So the last option is here to take boat from Buenos Aires till Colonia del Sacramento, and from there you can go till Montevideo. From here, aunque, can somebody read from here, aunque?
Aunque en general son puntuales ese día, mi autobús estaba demorado y por eso tardé un poco más en llegar a Montevideo.
Okay, so generally, autobus is on time, is punctual, puntual, punctual, is on time. Okay, but on that particular day, it was late. Estaba demorado. It was late. Okay. Por eso,
Demorado means
what?
demorado?
To be late.
Okay.
Okay, demorar is to be late. So estaba demorado. It was late. y por eso tardé un poco más en llegar a Montevideo. That's why he got late. Na? He reached Montevideo late because autobús estaba demorado. Autobus, the bus was late. Después de conocer la capital, tomé, tomé otro autobús. Again, when we are taking bus, okay, so we are always using tomar. We are always using it with verb tomar. Okay, so read it from here. Después de conocer la capital.
Después de conquistar la capital, tomé otro autobús y viajé a Punta del Este.
Very good. Es una ciudad. So after he he traveled in the city, he came to know about the city. He took another. Tome otro autobús. He took another bus, and he traveled till Punta del Este. So Punta del Este is again a place. Punta del Este is a place in Uruguay. So after traveling, after seeing Montevideo, he took another bus. Tome otro autobús y viaje. Viaje is to travel, na? Viajar.
Yes, sir.
Viajar. So he planned to travel till Punto del Este. So now he is talking about Punto del Este. Es una ciudad muy famosa con bellas playas que está a 134 kilómetros de Montevideo. Para volver, tome un avión desde Punta del Este hasta Buenos Aires. So again here you can see para volver. So while he was returning from Montevideo, from from Punta del Este, okay, he again tome un avión. Okay, what did he take? He took
Flight.
flight. Okay, desde Punta del Este hasta Buenos Aires. So from Punta del Este, he came to Buenos Aires again through flight. Again, es más caro. Caro is expensive, right?
Expensive.
So he took flight, but flight is expensive. Y los barcos, que los barcos. So flight is more expensive than boat. Okay, tomar un avión is more expensive than tomar un barco, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So tomar un avión is more expensive than tomar un barco. So he's just saying that es caro que los barcos, más caro que los barcos, pero llega mucho más rápido. But obviously, flight will reach.
Rapido is fast, sir.
Fast. Yes. So flight will reach first, and if you are traveling from boat, it will take lot of time.
Time, right.
It's time consuming. So again, here you can see. So were you be able to understand this paragraph, Miss Vacaciones in Uruguay?
Yes, sir.
So try to read it again. Okay. Try to read it again. Try to note down all the expressions that you are not understanding, or any word that you are not understanding, particular use of any word that you are not understanding. Try to note all those things, and you can ask me next class
Okay, sir.
your doubts about this.
Can we try to write something about ourselves, sir? We are traveling to some place.
Yeah. That is fantastic area. That will really
Yeah.
help you.
Yes, sir. That would be more. Yeah. Thanks.
So think of a city in Spain where you want to travel, and write how you will travel. What means of transportation you will take to
Okay,
travel
sir.
in that city or to reach that city. Okay. So
Okay.
first, for example, you went to Spain, and you from flight, and you landed in Madrid. Okay. So from Madrid to Barcelona, how will you go? Okay. what are available means of transportation there. So how you will use them. So you also compare which one is more expensive, okay, and
So
which
we
one
will
you
use
use.
this vocabulary, sir, right?
So use all these vocabularies, whatever you have read here. Uh, Yes, all these vocabularies. Okay.
Okay,
Try
sir.
to make sentences. Okay. So if in the next class you have any doubt, you can ask me
Yes,
about
sir.
about your about if you use all those verbs, because we have only seen here in this paragraph use of verbs like tomar, cruzar, okay, pasar. So at least try to use these verbs.
Right, sir.
Again. So uh, so uh, you are going to write about your trip to Spain, okay, from Madrid to Barcelona. So how we will say this, from Madrid to Barcelona? How we will say this?
Barcelona. How does it
So we will use here desde
here?
desde Madrid hasta
Hmm?
Barcelona. So desde is from and hasta is till. For example, desde Argentina hasta Uruguay. Okay. So what does this mean? From Argentina till Uruguay
Okay.
or to Uruguay. Okay. So to here expresar distancias y direcciones. Expresar direcciones. In español,
Distance and direction.
distance and direction. How you will talk about distance and directions in Spanish? So, en español, los verbos que expresan movimiento usan mayormente dos preposiciones, de y a. Cuando hay movimiento, siempre hay un punto de origen, marcado con de, y un punto de destino, marcado con a. So, the point of origin from where you are traveling, with that you will use de. Okay, de Barcelona, de Madrid hasta Barcelona. Let me write this. So you are traveling from Madrid till Barcelona. Okay, so how you will write this? De Madrid hasta
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, and you can also say the same thing by using desde Madrid
Hasta
hasta
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, so you can say na, while you are writing one small paragraph about your trip to Spain, so you can say, yo quiero viajar. Viajar is to
Travel.
uh, desde Madrid hasta Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Okay, so is this clear?
Yes, sir.
And or you can also write the same sentence using they. Sorry, here we can also use are. Okay, so you can write this same sentence by using they and are. Yo quiero viajar de Madrid a Barcelona. Okay. So, did you all understood this
Yes,
till
sir.
now? So what you will have to do, you will have to revise these chapters, okay? Until and unless you revise it on your own, you won't be able to understand, okay? So when you revise it, you will have certain doubts in your mind that you can ask me, but please try to revise them, okay? Just just you read them once.
Sir, I have one request.
Uh-huh.
Can you ask please RC Delhi to upload the like every recording little fast?
Okay, okay. I will convey your message to them,
Yes
definitely.
sir, because उन्होंने फोर सेशन आई थिंक रिकॉर्डेड अपलोड किया उसके बाद किया नहीं है और लाइक मैंने कल का क्लास मिस किया है तो आई वांट रिकॉर्डिंग वरना मुझे समझने में प्रॉब्लम होगी सर दैट्स व्हाई
ओके, ओके। तो अब कितने क्लासेस हुए
Yeah,
हैं आप
same
लोगों
here,
के अभी
sir.
तक?
तो BSL 1 के तो सारे हो गए हैं 10 क्लासेस हो गए हैं
10 क्लासेस
और
हो गए हैं।
यस सर और उन्होंने बस 4 तक ही अपलोड किया है
ओके, सो
Hmm.
जनरली तो रिकॉर्डिंग आ जाता है, सो आई विल आस्क देम।
यस सर बिकॉज BSL 2 फिर समझना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा अगर वो फर्स्ट चैप्टर ही मैंने नहीं किया है तो
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ।
यस
ठीक है, मैं उसके बारे में आज ही बोलूँगा उन लोगों को,
यस
ठीक है?
प्लीज
तो यहाँ तक आप लोगों ने समझ लिया? ओके,
Yes,
तो
sir.
जो नेक्स्ट सेक्शन है हमारा, वो नेक्स्ट सेक्शन है अगेन सेम is Ser and Star. So in the last class also we read about Ser and Star, right? So Ser was generally used to talk about characteristics, no quality of certain things. Okay, but Star was used to for to locate something,
To locate something.
right? Now these are certain
These are certain
uh, words,
words.
and here you, as you can see them, there are some adjectives that can only be used with Ser or can only be used with Star. For example, demorado, retrasado only work with star, while puntual and impuntual require ser. So there are certain adjectives that always require ser, and there are another sets of adjectives which will always require a star. So you just try to remember these uh, uh, this table. Uh, you can see the meaning of each word. They are written in front of it. So if you are using cansador, okay, so you will always use cansador adjective with ser. You cannot use this cansador with star. For example, you cannot say soy cansador. Okay, you will always say este viaje es cansador. ठीक है, this journey is tiresome. Okay, so you will always use s when you are using the first set of words, which is here with ser. You will always be using them with ser. And here, like in place of cansador, if you want to use tired, in the sense of tired, you will say estoy cansado. Okay, you
Okay,
cannot you
you
cannot
can
say
you can
Stop.
estoy cansador. That is completely wrong. Okay, so just try to look at these two sets of uh, uh, adjectives, okay, and try to remember them.
what is the pronunciation of worrying preoccupante
Preocupante,
Pre,
preocupante,
preoccupante okay sir.
preocupante, preocupante, and worried is preocupado,
Okay sir
preocupado. So, like there are. So, can I move to the next section?
yes sir
Uh,
Yes, sir.
so, in the like in el medico, okay, in el medico. So,
in the hospital
हाँ, So in the block 5, you are reading about in la calle, na. So when you go out from your house, okay. So when you go out from your house, so you will have to you come to know about your city, okay, about your neighborhood. So you will need all those kinds of vocabularies to describe your city to your neighborhood. Then you will travel, okay. You will use different means of transportation that you have already read in this again. So the next section is about hospital and doctor, okay. So what if you are in Spain and you are not feeling good, you are having some health trouble, so how will you go to doctor? How, what expressions you will use when you are in hospital, okay. So in this section you will be learning about this thing. Have you all read about verb gustar, or to conjugate it? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Hello.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Yes, sir. From where we need to read?
like in the next in the PSL 1, have you read about verb gustar?
Yes, sir.
Usta.
We have read about
Ah,
Ustad. Yes.
So you must be knowing about certain object
Yesterday's.
pronouns that we use along with gustar. Okay? No, me gusta. Do you remember this?
Like, can you just do a quick recap about that?
So I will definitely do it because we need uh, huh, that thing here. Uh, First of all, so here is a list of the words about our body. Okay, are you able to see this? La
Yes, sir.
cabeza.
Yes, sir.
So this is a list of the words about our body. So like ojos is eyes. Okay, nariz is nose. Boca is mouth. So try to for the next class, what you do, try to find meaning of all these words and try to remember them. Okay, all these words. Okay, for the next class. So this can be your homework. And here, these are very important expressions that you should start using in the class now. Okay, so can anyone read it?
No entendí. ¿Puede repetirlo, por favor? Por favor.
So no entendí. Puede,
Didn't get it.
no entendí. Puede repetirlo, por favor. I didn't get it. Can you repeat it, please? So whenever I am teaching you anything, okay, note down these expressions, okay, and try to remember them because in from now, when you are not understanding anything, okay, which I am trying to teach you, so please like say this in Spanish. Try to say this in Spanish. Okay. So if you are not understanding anything, what you will say in the class?
No entendí. ¿Puede repetirlo, por favor?
Ah, no entendí. Puede repetirlo, por favor. Again, again.
No entendí. Puede repetirlo, por favor.
Por favor.
Por favor.
Por favor. No entendí. Puede repetirlo, por favor. So whenever you are not understanding, you will be using this particular expression.
Okay.
And if suppose I am teaching you very like I am trying to do very fast. Okay. So what you will say?
Puede repetirlo más lentamente.
Puede repetirlo más lentamente. Say it again.
Puede
Puede
repetirlo más lentamente.
Más lentamente.
Again, hear me. Try to hear the pronunciation. Okay. Puede
Puede repetirlo
repetirlo más lentamente. Lentamente. Okay. Again. Try to
Puede
What?
repetirlo más lentamente.
one by one. You try
खुशबू
to.
आप कीजिए फिर हम लोग ट्राई करते हैं.
Okay. Puede repetirlo más lentamente.
Very good. Another.
Puede repetirlo más lentamente.
Very good. Puede repetirlo más lentamente. Can if someone else want to speak it?
Jana, do you want?
Last, the third one.
No, the second one.
Puede repetirlo más lentamente.
Puede repetirlo más
Repetirlo.
lentamente. Say it again.
Puede repetirlo más lentamente.
Repetirlo.
Repetirlo.
Puede repetirlo.
Repetirlo.
Repetirlo más lentamente.
Más lentamente.
Okay, very good. Puede repetirlo con palabras más simples. The next one. So here, can you repeat it in simpler words if you're not understanding it? Okay, if you're not understanding particular word. Okay, when I'm speaking, so you can tell me. Puede repetirlo con palabras más simples. Palabras is words. Okay. So try to say this expression.
Puede repetirlo con palabras más simples.
Exactly. ¿Qué significa exactamente? For example, if you don't know the meaning of the word palabra, okay, so you can ask me, ¿qué significa exactamente palabra? Okay.
¿Qué significa exactamente palabras?
For example, you can say me if you, uh, uh, for example, if you are not
¿Qué significa exactamente caro?
Very good. ¿Qué significa exactamente? Exactamente no. Exactamente.
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 ¿Qué significa exactamente?
¿Qué significa exactamente?
Anything which you
Caro.
Karu, anything which you are not understanding. Okay. So, for example, I am trying to, if somebody is trying to teach you, for example, philosophy, okay, suppose this is a philosophy class, and I am talking you about post-coloniality, okay, and you are not understanding post-coloniality. So, what you will say? ¿Qué significa exactamente post-coloniality?
Yes, sir.
Okay, puede repetirlo con palabras más simples. Can you repeat it in a simpler words? Okay. And if I'm trying to repeat it again and I am going very fast, so you can say, puede repetirlo más lentamente. Can you repeat it more slowly? And even if then you are not understanding it, you can say, no entendí. Puede
Yes.
repetirlo, por favor. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So from now, whenever you are not understanding anything in the class, you will, if you will ask me in Spanish, then you will.
Instead of yes, sir, we can say sí, señor, right?
Sí.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
You can say
Okay, so sí, señor.
sí.
Okay.
Muy bien. Muy bien. So in like in the last chapter also, uh, there are these kinds of expressions. So this is very important to know these kinds of expressions. Okay, they are very helpful in day-to-day conversation. Okay, let me see. See. So here also you can find list of the words. Right? Donde está? For example, you are looking for your book in your house. Okay.
¿Dónde
Donde,
está el libro?
donde está mi libro? Where is my book?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So these are very important expressions. So do you want me to do all these expressions here now?
Yes, please, sir.
So,
Yes, yes.
so when I'm doing this expression, then I am expecting from you that in home, from now you will start practicing it.
Right.
So, try to learn this expression, and while you are talking in class, you should not start talking in Spanish. Okay, these simple expressions. You don't have to talk like you don't have to give a lecture in Spanish, but try to just use these simple expression now. Okay. So, ¿dónde está mi libro? ¿Dónde está mi pluma? Okay. ¿Cómo llego a? ¿Cómo voy a? Like you are trying to go to the university. Okay, IGNU. You came to Delhi and you want to visit IGNU campus. So you can say ¿Cómo llego a? O ¿Cómo voy a la universidad? Okay. How can I get to the university? Okay. So for that, I will answer you. Okay, you can take these bus number, for example, 26, and that bus will take you till university. So you will ask me, "Donde para el bus? Where does the bus stop?" Okay, so you will have to ask, na, like which is the bus stop next to your residence. Okay, so you can say, "Donde para el bus?" Okay, de donde sale el? From where does the bus leave? Okay, for example, de donde sale el bus? From where does the bus leave? So, like if suppose your bus stop is far away from your residence, so I will say for far away we use lejos de. In the last class we have already learnt about cerca de and lejos de, right? Cerca de
Session. Card.
and lejos de.
Report.
So circa de was if something is near. Lejos
Near.
is when something is very far. Okay, when it is
Far.
not near to you. Okay, so I can say you are asking me about, uh, for example, about university. Okay, so I can say you la universidad está lejos de tu casa. Okay, it is far from your house. Okay, está lejos de. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
¿A qué hora sale el bus? At what time does the bus leave? Okay, so when you are traveling in Madrid, if you want to take a bus, okay, so first you will have to know about the timing of the bus, right? So how you will ask this? ¿A qué hora sale el bus? Cuando, for example, if the first bus has already left, okay, and so you are waiting for the next bus. So, cuando sale el próximo? When does the next bus leave? Okay, cuando sale el próximo bus? ¿Hay algún restaurante cerca? Is there any restaurant nearby? Okay, ¿hay algún restaurante cerca? Are you able to understand these constructions?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For example,
Wahasta what would we say? Market? Mercado?
Mercado. Mercado.
Mar.
Mercado. You are asking about market, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, it is mercado. Mercado.
Mercado. Mercado. Okay.
Okay. So if you see the last expression, it is cuánto falta para llegar a la universidad? How much longer to reach to the university? Okay. If you are in the bus and if you are getting late for an appointment or for your class, so you can ask the bus driver, ¿cuánto falta para llegar a la universidad? Or you can ask your friend, okay, because you are getting late. So these are the expressions that you can use while traveling. Okay, in the same way,
Okay.
uh, you can use these expressions. No entendí, puede repetirlo por favor in the class. Okay, puede repetirlo por favor. Okay, so from the next class, try to use these expressions in the class. Okay,
Okay.
so siéntese, what does siéntese significa? ¿Qué significa siéntese? What is the meaning of siéntese? Is to sit. So when you are siéntese is actually imperative form of the verb. So when you ask someone to sit, okay, so you can say siéntese, por favor, please sit down. Okay, siéntese. Okay, and for siéntese, you can also use instead of siéntese, tome asiento, por favor. Okay, both these are same. Are you understanding this?
Yes.
So if you want to tell someone to sit, how you will say?
Siéntese.
Siéntese, por favor, please. Por favor is please.
Please.
And instead of siéntese, you can also use tome asiento, por favor.
Tome asiento, por favor.
Ah, so when someone comes to your house, any guest, you can use this word with them, and you can also tell them meaning of this word. You can tell them that you are learning Spanish, so you are trying to practice it at home. Okay,
Yes.
me siento mal. I'm not feeling well. Me siento mal.
Mal.
I am not feeling well. So, like,
इसको करा दो मतलब फीवर के लिए पूछेंगे.
हाँ, दिस इज फॉर फीवर, पर बट यहाँ पे हम लोग को कुछ और देखना पड़ेगा ना इसके. मे सिएंतो माल के लिए कौन सा यूज होगा?
Quel es el problema?
Let me see. हाँ, creo que estoy enfermo. हाँ, the last one. Creo que estoy enfermo. I believe that I am not well. I am unwell.
Okay.
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 So, if you are not feeling well, so you can say me siento mal, or you can say creo que estoy enfermo. Okay. And if you are girl, then you will say creo que estoy enferma instead of enfermo. Okay.
Okay.
Creo que estoy enferma. Me duele la cabeza. Me duele la cabeza.
Duele eso.
Is to pain, and
In head.
cabeza head. Okay, headache. So I have a headache. Okay. So This you can say here. Uh,
Tango knows.
no, no. Tengo jaqueca.
Khatu.
Okay. Me duele la cabeza. So these are very important. Na, this you can use in your daily life, right?
Yes.
Socorro, socorro. When you need help, okay. When you need help, you are in an emergency, okay. For example, so and you are in Spain.
Necesito ayuda.
Huh. So if you are in Spain and there is some emergency, for example, you are not able to open your doors, okay, you have lost your keys. So there you if you will shout, "Bachao, bachao," will anybody understand you?
No.
No. So
No.
instead, "Bachao, bachao," you will have to shout, "Socorro, socorro." Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That means necesito ayuda.
Ayuda.
Necesito, I need help. Necesito ayuda. Socorro. Necesito ayuda. Okay. Aguarde un momento. Aguarde un momento. Means, puede esperar aquí, por favor. Means, wait. Wait for some time. Okay. Wait for a moment. Okay. So, I'm trying to teach you some. I tried to explain it, and then now I want to move to the next section. So you can say me, puede esperar aquí por favor. Can you wait for a moment, please? Okay.
Okay.
¿Qué le pasa? ¿Qué le pasa? ¿Qué le pasa? ¿Cuál es el problema? What is the problem? Okay. What happened? ¿Qué le pasa? Okay. So if I'm trying to ask you something and you are not responding to me, so what I can say? ¿Qué le pasa? ¿Cuál es el problema? What is the problem? Why you're not responding? ¿Cuál es el problema? Okay. ¿Tiene fiebre? If somebody is having fever, you can say that.
Está fibrado.
Está afebrado. Afebrado.
Fibrado.
Afebrado. ¿Tiene fiebre? Está afebrado. Okay. Me siento nauseosa. Me siento nauseosa. Means the last one.
Tengo nauseous.
Nauseas. Tengo nauseas.
Nauseous.
मतलब it's like कि
I
आप
feel nausea.
हाँ not feeling well है ना चक्कर जैसा आ रहा है then we can use these words okay
Okay.
so these are so today what I'm trying to do I'm trying to do all these kinds of basic vocabularies with you okay these expressions so try to write these expressions in a separate notebook and try to revise them again and again so that and after revising only one thing can help you is that you start using them in your life okay
Okay.
so once you start using these vocabularies because see if you are in an emergency you can say socorro okay so for this you don't need to read all the grammar okay you don't need to read 4 5 books okay these are simple expressions that you can use that you can learn very easily and you can use in your daily life okay and what is your like for the next class you have to find meaning of all these words okay
All the body parts, right?
all the body parts and
Okay.
try to write them in a separate copy
Okay.
and revise them okay because this you will be needing in your if you are if you want to visit a doctor okay then you will have to talk about body parts okay if you have a headache then you will have to say na what for headache what we were using expression
Tengo dolor de cabeza.
Very good. Tengo dolor de cabeza. Or we
Me
can also
duele
do
la cabeza.
me duele la
La
cabeza.
cabeza.
Okay.
Yes.
So here you can you see this me te le
Yes, sir.
me te le no
Os,
o
please.
les.
Yes.
So when you are using doler is doler means to pain.
Pain.
है ना?
Headache.
Headache. No, pain. Only pain, sir.
Pain.
हाँ pain.
Cabeza is head.
हाँ head. So me
Okay.
duele la cabeza is that headache. Okay. So doler can be used with other parts of the body also, right?
Like
So
I have eye pain, so ojos, you said, right?
हाँ. So you will say
Me
me.
duele la ojos.
So I am just trying to
Okay.
make you understand now the grammar part. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You are right. Me duelen los ojos.
Okay.
So why we will use duele and where we will use duelen? Okay. So we are here concerned about just two forms. Okay. Usted and ustedes form of doler. Okay. Doler. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
So in usted form, is duele, right? And in ustedes, it is. I will conjugate this in ustedes. Anyone? Duelen. So duele and duelen. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So we just need to as of now we just need to remember conjugations of these two these two conjugations, just these two, usted and ustedes. Sorry, ustedes. Okay. Okay. Now third person singular and third person plural, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So doler, doler is to doler is to what is the meaning of the verb doler?
Pain.
So
Pain.
uh, so we just need to remember the conjugation of the verb doler in third person singular and third person plural. Okay. So when
Hmm.
and me, te, le, nos, os, les. These are object pronouns. Okay. So these are and here there are another this is the another set. Okay. Here sorry. Ami, right? A T
L.
ella, usted. A nosotros, nosotras. A vosotros, vosotras. A ellos, ellas, ustedes. Right? So these are optional. Okay. A me. But these are this, the one which I am like encircling. These are compulsory. Okay. These are not optional. So whenever you use verb doler, you will have to use me, te, le, nos, os, les, depending upon the context. For example, I am saying uh, my, uh, for example, my my eyes are like paining. So how I will say that?
Me duele los ojos.
Me duelen los ojos, because the conjugation of the verb
Oh, yes, sir. Right.
will depend upon what part of your body is being affected.
Okay, okay, sir.
Where is the pain? So it is in los ojos, and since it is los ojos, it is plural. So we will not use third person singular, but we will use third person plural form of the verb doler. Duelen. Me duelen los ojos.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And suppose, uh, I want to say, they have pain in their eyes. They have pain in their eyes. So for they, what we will use? First, you will have to pick from here.
Vosotros.
Vosotros.
Os.
But they,
The
it is less, less.
les,
Duelos.
नहीं.
les duelen los ojos.
Very good, very good. Less duelen los ojos, because they have pain in their eyes. Okay,
Yes,
so for them it is less. Okay,
yes, sir.
are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
She has pain in her eyes.
Le duelen los ojos.
Very good, very good. And you have pain in your eyes.
Te duelen los ojos.
Hmm, very good. So, are you able, like if you say they have headache?
Les
Les
duele la
cabeza.
cabeza.
La cabeza.
One by one.
Les la cabeza.
Les duele. Duele. You will use the
Les
verb
duele
duele.
la cabeza.
Duele. Why we have not used duelen here?
Because of we are talking about heads, so
And head?
singular form.
Yes, exactly. So, are you able to understand now how
Yes,
you will use these words? Okay. So, therefore, it is here. Me duele la cabeza, because we are talking about la cabeza, right? And la cabeza here it is a singular. So we will use third person singular conjugation of the verb. Okay, and
Okay.
me duele, because I have a headache. Therefore, I will use me. Okay, so object pronoun me, te, le, nos, os, les will depend upon the person who has pain. Okay, and conjugation of the verb doler will depend upon the part of the body. Okay, so if, yeah, if uh, 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 we are talking about ojos, so we will use duelen. But if we are talking about estomago, we will use duele, because it is always el estomago.
so estomago is.
Stomach,
Sorry, sir.
stomach.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, so no, let me see if there is more example. So I think there is also a verb sentir, which is reflexive verb. But I think I will do this in the next class, right? Now
Yes.
for this class, till this class, you just concentrate on the verb doler. Okay, sentirse, we will learn about sentirse in the next class, so that you don't get confused. Okay. Now, can you all do this activity 4,
Yes.
actividad 4?
Yes, sir.
So like yo, so molestar also works like doler. Okay,
Okay, sir.
molestar also works like doler, and these are optional. Like where is ah so you can say here, a mí me duele, a mí me duele la cabeza. Okay, or you can also avoid use of a mí. You
For
can
that,
just
we
say
can
that
say
me
me
duele la
dwele la cabeza.
you can just
दो फेंक दे तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी पता नहीं कैसी कैसी बातें टूटती हैं
can you please mute yourself?
Jaina, please mute
China,
yourself.
China, please mute yourself. Okay, so you can say a ellos les duele la cabeza. Okay, or
Okay,
you
sir.
can just say les duele la cabeza. Both are correct. A ellas les duele la cabeza, or you can just say les duele la cabeza. Okay, so the use of this section is like not compulsory. You can omit it, and you can also use it. Okay, so try to do activity 4.
Okay, sir.
Try to do activity 4, and if you have any problem, ask me.
Okay, sir.
And so, like with activity 4, you will be able to actually learn the use of the verb doler along with the object pronouns. Okay, whatever problem you have here in activity 4, just ask me. Are you all doing it? Hello.
Sir, can you please share that screen with that activity?
Ha ha
Yes.
ha. Sure.
So first will be me molesta mucho este dolor de muelas.
Very good. Me molesta
Yeah.
este dolor, because este dolor. Me
Este dolor.
me molesta mucho este dolor de muelas. Very good.
Okay. Sir, next will be a nadie le gustan las iniciaciones.
A nadie
A nadie le gustan
le gustan. Very good.
las iniciaciones.
Inyecciones. Inyecciones.
Okay, sir.
Repeat it. Repeat it. Inyecciones.
Iniciaciones.
Inyecciones.
Iniciaciones.
So
And sir,
why we are using here gustan?
for सर मैंने गुस्तार का तो कर लिया ये वर्ब से किया है पूरा
नहीं नहीं
बिना
नहीं
हाँ
नहीं नहीं. Why we are using gustan and not gusta?
cause
because it is
Because we have
las inyecciones.
right, sir.
So it is las inyecciones. Okay.
Okay,
And
sir.
a nadie is third person singular. Therefore,
Right,
we are using le. A nadie le gustan las inyecciones.
right, sir.
Okay.
So epidemia is, sir?
Epidemic.
Okay. La epidemia de Grine es una tempa que. So nosotros will be nos preocupa
Ha,
a todos.
ha, ha. Because we are talking here about
Yes.
la epidemia.
Nosotros. Yes.
Ha,
Ah,
no. La
the
epidemia.
la epidemia. That's why
Ha.
nos. Yes, sir.
No, no, no. No says because, like, what is the meaning of the whole sentence? La epidemia de gripe. Gripe is flu.
Yes.
Okay. La epidemia de gripe es un tema que nos preocupa a todos. Okay. Here,
Yes.
because it concerns us. Okay.
Yes.
Therefore, we are using here nos. Okay. And what concerns us? Lipidemia. Lipidemia is singular. So
Yes.
therefore we will use third
They,
person singular form of the verb.
right. Anybody else want to कुछ
हाँ हाँ
बोलना चाहेंगे या मैं yeah.
please someone else. आप लोग और हैं? Are you able to listen me?
Yes, sir.
हाँ
खुशबू आप
तो
ट्राई करेंगे या फिर आप मैं बोलूं या आप ट्राई कीजिए.
शुरू करो चित्रा.
ओके मैंने तो डी तक कर दिया है, सी तक किया है, आप आगे डी करना है आपको.
Binoy, you are not audible.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
No. You can do fourth one D number.
Okay. Ellos, sir. Ellos mucho la noticias.
विनोद डी करना है आपको. आमी मादरे.
A mi madre, ella enfermarse.
सर इट विल बी लेदा मिएदो.
Exactly, because
Le da miedo.
le da miedo. Okay.
Da miedo. Okay.
हाँ da miedo.
Dar miedo.
हाँ dar
Ella dar miedo.
दार विल बी दा आई गेस.
Da miedo.
Yes.
Da
Le da-
miedo enfermarse.
Okay. So what I like I am trying to I was trying to look if you are able to do this or not. So in the next class, I will try to make one chart where I will talk about verb gustar and verb doler and molestar, all those verbs which work like gustar. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because I can understand that you are still having some problem, and like the use of the verb gustar, doler, molestar, they are
Sir,
very important.
inokhas means inokhar
It's to get angry.
to get
Angry.
angry. It will be inokha.
Enoca.
Huh. A ellos les
Ellos
Ellos les enojas mucho la noticia.
yeah, exactly. A ellos
enocar.
les enoja mucho la noticia.
So, next will be
Le
mis
ellos.
amigos. हाँ बोलिए बिनोय आप बोल रहे हैं.
Enocar mucho la noticia.
Inokhar नहीं है, Binoy. It is inokha.
तो सर इनोखार will be इनोखा right?
इनोखा
इनोखार ही रहेगा या आर हम लोग हटा देंगे.
आर हटा देंगे ना, इनोखा हो जाएगा.
इनोखा right.
हाँ, because you will have to conjugate na, third
Right,
person
right.
singular. You cannot leave that verb in infinitive form. You will have to conjugate them. You will either have to conjugate them in third person singular or you will have
Right.
to conjugate them in third person plural.
Right.
सर फिर से बताइए सर ellos enojar.
See, because it is la noticia, right? La
Okay.
noticia is singular. So we
Right.
will also conjugate the verb enojar in third person singular.
Okay.
I just mentioned that, na?
Ellos
Yes.
enoja.
A ellos les enoja
Les
mucho la
enojaron.
noticia.
Enoja.
Hmm.
Mucho la noticia.
Sir, F will be a means amigos, les encanta la música pop.
Very good, very good. Because for La Musica Pop, we will
Yes,
be because of the La Musica Pop,
yes,
we
sir.
will be conjugating verb in cantar
Yes,
in third person singular,
right.
and for Amis
Les.
amigos, we will use les, right?
Yes, sir.
So Amis amigos les encanta la música pop. El problema es
Eh,
hmm,
कोई और बोल रहे हैं सर या मैं
कि मुझे
चाइना आपको
always
बोलना
know
है?
la important or
uh, uh, just try
important will be there.
el
Importa will be there only. Les importa.
La important. Yeah,
Les
el
la.
importa.
El problema es que a muchos jóvenes, for muchos jóvenes, what we will use? Muchos jóvenes is what? It is third
Les.
person plural.
Yes,
है
sir.
ना?
तो sir it will be
So
less.
less for them that we will use less. And what is important or not important for them? Futuro, future, and it is el futuro. It is not plural. It is in singular. Therefore,
Yeah.
we will use importa. No less importa.
So last will be a ti también te interesa aprender español.
Very good, very good. A ti también te interesa aprender español. Very good.
Yes.
So, uh, I can understand that like these things are not that easy, right? So actually, it's a bit complex. So in the
We
next
need to
class,
practice, right?
huh?
We need to practice more.
Huh, obviously, you need to practice more, but in the next class, I will again start with the verb doler, gustar.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I will again start with this same activity.
Okay.
Okay, for you just try to read, okay, in the text the use of verb doler, and again in the next class I will explain you so that you have a clear idea about the uses of verb doler, gustar, and all. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, so I think, do you want to ask me anything more? I will continue with this chapter again in the next class because I need to teach you a few more things which I was not able to cover today. Okay. Okay. So, do you have any doubt till now? You can ask me.
Sir, first we will revise this chapter, I guess. So
Huh.
we will be better position to ask you more doubts.
Mhm. Okay. Pratik Nair is writing about body parts. So the body parts I have already told you that you will have to, like I have given you homework that you need to write, search for all the vocabulary of the body part that is given in the text, and in the next class I will come to that. Okay,
So
because
for sir, next class we will do three things, right? About the travel Spain to Madrid to Barcelona,
yes,
body part, and
huh,
this grammar part.
grammar part. Okay, so we'll try to complete them.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
अच्छा प्लीज आप नोट्स मेल कर दीजिएगा.
Like sure, I have made this notes for you, so I will mail.
सर मेल हमने आपको मैसेज कर दिया है.
Okay, okay. Let me note it down. Okay, I have given you my mail now in the last class.
Yes sir, right. Okay, we
हाँ
will mail you sir मतलब for the
हाँ
request for the notes.
हाँ. So you just write a mail to me. I will again write my mail here. Okay. A is in.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So write an email to me and I will send you all the notes. Okay. So, uh, what are your homeworks? You have to talk about your travel. If you are traveling in in any city or in any country, what kinds of means of transportation that you will be using. Okay, or you will use certain words. Okay, which I have taught you. Again, then you have to find the meaning of all the body parts, okay, that are given in the text. And the third, try to again revisit exercise actividad 4, okay,
Okay, sir.
actividad 4, okay.
Sir, I have
So
sent you mail. Did you get it?
I will check it, okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so okay, see you in the next class.
Sir,
Bye.
we have a class on Tuesday also.
I think not Tuesday, not on Wednesday. It is on
Okay,
25.
Wednesday.
25th, sir.
Ah,
Okay.
25th, sir.
Wednesday.
25th, and it is Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Gracias, sir.
Gracias, gracias.
Muchas gracias, sir.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias,
Buenas noches, sir.
So, gracias, senor.
gracias, gracias. Gracias.
Buenas